Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Remote Tribe podcast. I'm here with Ryan Mendonca, the digital nomad lawyer from YVLC Legal. This is the episode 2 of the Roaming Entrepreneur, and we can't wait to talk to you about some really cool topics on digital nomad businesses and the businesses you can do remotely. I'm Andrew from Remote Tribe. We are a digital nomad magazine, and also we help people go remote either through legal advice, through companies like Ryan's, or we help people travel the world with advice and also have a travel community for people to connect and to share ideas. And I'm going to let Ryan introduce himself right now.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this second episode of the remote we're roaming
Entrepreneur,
entrepreneur. Yeah,
roaming entrepreneur, yeah.
it's super good to have you all here. I'm Ryan Mendonca. I'm a digital nomad lawyer. Traveled about 30 plus countries, and I'm also the founder of Your Virtual Legal Counsel. This is where we act as a virtual lawyer or legal counsel for startups, solo entrepreneurs, and digital nomads. We provide them with legal solutions from a commercial aspect that makes sense for them. We have over a decade of experience in corporate, intellectual property law, technology, and I've worked with multiple startups, law firms, and corporations that have a global presence, especially in sectors such as D2C, e-commerce, emerging tech, SaaS, AI, and F&B and Airbnbs, vacation rentals, and things of that nature. So we're looking forward to working with you all, and we believe in making highly qualified legal advice accessible to entrepreneurs remotely.
I think you'd be a great friend for a lot of people, Ryan.
Thank
So
you.
thanks for that. Awesome. So today we've got some really interesting subjects. So we've got usually we pick three businesses that are doable remotely. 90% I would say you don't really have to be there in person. So we're gonna go today through affiliate marketing, marketing agency, and Airbnb rentals. You might be surprised, but Airbnb rentals can be done whilst you're away. I think a lot of nomads or business people do that, so we're gonna go into that a bit later. But I think we should start with affiliate marketing, which is extremely popular because it's a very easy business to get into. I would say it's not an easy business to monetize. Because I'm doing that as well, and I know a lot of people are into affiliate marketing, and definitely takes time and content to monetize. So basically, how I see affiliate marketing is you have to get popular, either you or your business, so you can push products. Some people push like shady products, some people push real products. It's up to you how you want to approach this one, but basically you have to promote and do like honest reviews or review different products or services, and then push that to your audience, so you monetize your audience, obviously by bringing value to them through the products and services you promote. So what's your experience, Ryan, with affiliate marketing?
So I think affiliate marketing is really like a lot of other businesses, is important about how you execute, right? You can always find like multiple websites that have multiple products that you can get a registration for their affiliate link, right? But what I found, people and entrepreneurs that I've worked with that have created this sort of affiliate marketing program on both sides, from the ones that's giving the referral fee, they've started creating a community, right? Whether it's around a course, whether it's around a product or some sort of service, right? They've created these sorts of community where, just for example, what YBLC, right? We've created a client referral system, right? For them to refer us more clients, right? And it's an incentivized plan where we do super interesting give backs and giveaways, right? Versus just dollars back or dollars cut off on your bill. So
Yeah.
those are things that I feel are super important. So if you create a community, have that community push whatever it is that you're selling, whether it's product or service, or whatever it is that they're super interested in, right? Maybe it's some sort of niche in, let's say, digital nomad businesses, let's say digital nomad
Yeah,
tools
obviously,
and
just to
products.
add something, Brian, there, like you want to pick the affiliates that are related to your niche. It's very important,
Yeah.
so your audience feels connected to that, and they will buy eventually.
And you can then just name drop businesses on on a platform or medium that you're already relatively popular on.
And by platform, we mean social media, your private community, like your course community, and so on and so
May
forth.
have a
Yeah,
Telegram, WhatsApp
yeah.
group, Slack community. Yeah,
Exactly, exactly. So I think I think we agree here. I think we have to first of all try to build up that community, bring real value to the community through advice, content, things like that. Bringing guests on and really helping people do something, and then slowly start introducing affiliate marketing. So I think it's really important to clarify what's affiliate marketing. So it's businesses who promote themselves through other people. I wouldn't say it's like multi-level marketing. I think it's similar, but it's a more legit business. So you will get the
it's like a
links from, yeah,
referral business, right?
yeah. It's
It's
a
like it's word of mouth on steroids, where
exactly,
you're able to not just monetize, right? Where otherwise, in word of mouth, you're not able to monetize, right?
yeah,
The moment you recommend a place, whether it's a restaurant or experience, whatever the case may be, right?
yeah,
Um, but here, if you're having a link, that means they are giving you a percentage of whatever amount that somebody buys through you, right? Through your
yeah.
referral.
So,
And
so how?
secondly,
Yeah.
I feel is with that one link, you don't have you can get 5, 10, 50, 100. It can be indefinite, right?
So that link can be tracked. So that's the beauty of online. That link is tracked by you and the company as well. They can see where the traffic is coming from, either your community or your website, and then it's up to you and the company what kind of percentage you get for the referral. Usually, the affiliate company will give you a 10-15% discount, and that can be shared between you and the audience. So you can either, let's say, get 5% of the sales, and your audience get like a 10% off, or you can give them a 5% off and you can get the 10%. So that's negotiable, and it's up to you how you set up the strategy. Now, that link can be inserted again on your website, on your YouTube channel. You've seen people selling products on YouTube and services and so on. Like, there's a lot of affiliate marketing companies there, and to get into affiliate marketing, you have to join an affiliate network, which is free, something like Commission Junction, and their Impact, and there's so many other big ones. Just create an account, you'll get the link, put that on your channels, and you're good to go.
Yeah,
So let's start with the scoring. Cost of or
sure.
capital needed. I think we both agree here. It's
Pretty
a
low.
low entrance barrier. So I'll let you start, Ryan.
So I would say the low it's two, primarily because I feel there would be certain things besides, just having your website and hosting and tools to create these sort of content, right?
Yeah.
You will also have to build a niche, maybe have, invest in a good camera, a good other peripherals that you may need to create your content at a high scale, right? And a high quality.
Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah, but still, I think the costs are minimal. Again, you can get like a second-hand camera. You can use your
Yeah,
phone for the
exactly.
hosting. It's probably $50 a year or something like that. So it's more about time, which we're gonna talk in the next one.
The
And
next
we
one,
both
yeah.
agree that it takes time, quite a lot of time, I would say, in my experience, to build up that audience. So basically, that time and effort will be put into building the audience, connecting with people, creating the content, and then monetizing. So again, like, I think creating the audience and creating the content is key and is 80% of your time and effort, but that will take a while. I would say at least 6 months to a year. What's your experience with that, Ryan?
Yeah, I think with regards to time, it's not only about creating your own community, but also figuring out the right way to distribute, right? Through
Yeah.
other people's communities, right? So, for example, let's say I'm offering legal services for digital nomads. I would, if I were to be a referral, would hit up other digital nomad community like Remote
Remote
Tribe, for
tribe,
example,
sure.
right? And have them create an offering for me, right? So that way, it's low hanging fruit in that sense, and they have not just the website. They have, for example, their Slack community. They have also their, WhatsApp community, newsletter. They have multiple mediums of reaching out, right? So you need to
Hmm.
create that distribution, and that's something that if you do wrong, if you don't take the right amount of time to figure out which platforms, which groups are really going to give you that advantage or give you the return, then you may go wrong. And you also may not ask for permission, right? You may post in groups, and that can get you red flagged for putting out,
Yeah,
spammy or things like that. And
exactly.
it's important to take time and figure out the right communities to go ahead with your affiliate marketing plan.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. So it's very important how you pick up your associates and your partners. You want to make sure you partner up. If you're selling affiliate marketing or if you're representing an affiliate marketing company, you want to affiliate yourself with good companies, and also you want to promote the affiliate marketing in the right niches, as you're saying. So because it's kind of a snowball effect from my experience. So once you do content like we do, for example, or if you associate yourself with other people in your niche, then you can invite each other. You will repost things on the channels that you have, and that will create a snowball effect. And basically, you can leverage other communities to either promote your business as an affiliate or represent other companies as affiliate marketing. So I think it's a very good observation, Ryan. Thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks.
Time to break even. I think we both agree here that it does take a lot of time, I would say, to break even. Affiliate marketing is a long game. You'll not make money instantly by placing a link on your website if you don't have any visitors, and also the commission fees are small in most of the cases. You want to have a look at what kind of commission the company you're presenting gives. So usually it's about it can be from like a few dollars all the way to 250 $500, depending if it's a high paying ticket like a consulting service, which is thousands of dollars. That works as well. But again, it will take time for you to build the audience, one, and then two, you will have a conversion rate of maybe under 1%. So if you do the math, then, and if your affiliate partner is giving you a low fee, then it will really take time to scale up the business and have a lot of affiliate partners that then have a lot of traffic, so it converts and you get the money from the affiliate.
Yeah, absolutely. I think time to break even is long, but it can be accelerated on two aspects. One is if you go ahead and keep your costs low, like super low, under let's
Correct.
say, $500-$600, right? You're definitely going to be able to break even within the next maybe 3 to 6, on a higher side, even 9 months, right? Because especially if you pick up, and this is the second bit, you spoke about this a bit, Andrew, but if you pick high ticket items that are thousands of dollars or more, right? For example, let's say you're a travel influencer or a digital nomad that has a camera, a mic, and several other devices, right, that are on Amazon. People can buy it from anywhere. You don't have to be in that specific location or jurisdiction for them to get the benefit of uh,
Exactly.
basically purchasing the product, and then you get the referral income, the affiliate marketing income. And there are times where you can work with brands and discuss what would be the the discount that your community would get, what will be the percentage that you will get, everything to a certain degree, especially when they're small and you have a certain clout, I would say, in terms of your marketing distribution network. Then by all means you can negotiate better pricing on both ends. So I would say it definitely takes time, but it can be accelerated based on these two factors.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Exactly. So again, if you have to look to associate yourself with maybe high-paying tickets, so you get the affiliate link from them, or and actually not or and leverage other communities, so you can sell that high ticket to others. Yeah, I would say that makes sense to me at least. Scalability, again, we agree here. What I want to say about that, again, that it takes time to build a community. And because you can definitely scale it faster if you employ people, but if you want to keep the costs down, because again, the revenue from affiliate marketing is not big initially. So you want to keep the costs down. And if you want to scale it yourself, it's just one person. Okay, now with AI, you can create much more content, but still, it will take time for you to scale. So it's not really scalable off, out of the box. You will have to start yourself, and then if you're successful, you can hire teams of content creators, and you also partnership programs that you have to put in place. So you need help for that.
Yeah, I would say it's not very scalable unless you do, two or three things which are outside your niche. The reason I say it's not very scalable is because if you're an entrepreneur in a specific niche, right, and you talk about this, you have your websites based on this, your communities based on whatever that niche is, you're you're restricted to basically selling products or referring
That are in
products
that niche
that are,
specifically.
that are not,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly, that are in that niche, exactly.
yeah,
That's one thing. So if you want, you need to start building a more neutral distribution, right? So not just only networking with people in your community, but also that outside of your community. So maybe not necessarily digital nomads, right? But also workers that travel, people that are, having remote businesses that also need various, items for them that you basically use, you can advocate, and makes it easier for you to sell. Ultimately, I
yeah.
would say that it's a two for me, for these reasons. And lastly, I would like to say that if you do want to scale, the only way to scale this is with multiple brands, multiple companies, and that can be difficult to get in a short span of time.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, they have a network of websites that cover multiple niches and they try to monetize each and every single one of them with affiliate links. That's a strategy I've seen quite often recently. And it's been actually happening for like more than 10 years where you've got a network of websites to do content on every single one of them almost every day, and then that will scale. But again, that takes even more time. So it's not really that scalable, at least in the beginning.
Yeah.
Cool. Revenue from affiliate marketing, a very interesting one, and we've got diverging opinions here. So right now, let you start.
Yes, I think we touched upon this earlier. The estimated monthly revenue won't necessarily be very high, especially if you're going for, low ticket items that don't sell very frequently. So you can't do low ticket items and something that is, rarely purchased, right? It needs to be something that people automatically purchase, or it's in high volumes, right? So, for example, a lot of people put like referral links to VPNs for, getting a remote SIM, right, or
Yeah, yeah.
international SIM card.
eSIMs,
But
yeah.
yeah, insurance for digital nomads, things of that nature. Those are all one time a year purchases, right? So when you think of putting out products, you need to think about things that people will want to come back to you and keep buying, right? Or they have a consumable aspect to the product as well, right? There's a lifetime of the product. So those are two things that I would keep in mind when figuring out what your estimated revenue would be.
Yeah, it's for me it's kind of a chicken or the egg problem. So you can either start your affiliate business based on a bigger niche, on a wider niche where you start from the products and you do content around the products, or the other approach is products around your content. I can't really tell what's more successful. It depends also on the niche, but what this means is that you start with the content first, and then you see what kind of affiliate products you can insert into your content, or you can just go on the affiliate network, see what kind of products are available, let's say in travel or in I don't know, in software, and then you start creating content around the products themselves, which is again fair. You can review products, you can review one product, you can do X vs Y products reviews and stuff like that. So sky's the limit there, but keep that in mind when you start the affiliate business. I really wanted to mention that because it can have an impact on your revenue. When it comes to monthly revenue, I think it's somewhere in the middle. I don't want to put a three. I put a four because it depends on what kind of items you're selling and your affiliate partnership. So just to give you an example, Amazon obviously is one of the biggest affiliates networks in the world, but their commissions are very, very small. So we're talking about here like 1-2% from sale. They've gotten down a lot because they can, unfortunately. So you do have to sell a lot of volume, one. So that means a lot of content. Or two, you have to sell high ticket items like expensive bags or expensive things for the house or like jewelry or stuff like that, which is becoming
Electronic.
more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the two ways you can increase your revenue from affiliate. It's either high volume, but that means a lot of content, hence a lot of time, or two, selling high ticket items. For example, if you're in the luxury industry and that's your niche, one of the verticals in the luxury industry, that revenue could be higher. But if you're selling things like I don't know, like small accessories for cars or stuff like that, that will take more time. So it depends on your niche, but I would say it is a low revenue initially. If your niche is like, if you're selling low priced items, but it can also be, you can have good revenue from the first months if you position yourself in a high value niche. So it's somewhere in the middle, I would say. However, it does take time still. So that's my point.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to top
Awesome.
off
Hmm.
what you were saying, right, about creating content, I've seen a few YouTube pages, TikTok pages that all their shorts and reels and TikToks, they're all based on, you know, Amazon finds. And this is sort of a hack, right, to go behind it. So they figured out 10, 15, they make
Top
multiple
selling
lists,
items,
multiple,
maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
hacks for the kitchen, hacks, products for like your car, for different things. They've gone wide, but all they're doing is basically multiple videos of the same product, maybe buying it, making some funny videos, funny reels, and these things sort of go viral over a period of time, right? And the volume of content, all they have the whole list and everything is easy click, and they get the sales right over a period of time. So
Yeah, TikTok is like wildfire. I mean, the amount of views you can get on TikTok, it's unbelievable. So it is definitely a good place to start your affiliate business nowadays. I mean, I think the YouTube and the website is a good idea still, and you should still have it as like a second option. But TikTok is definitely the place to be right now if you feel comfortable on camera. Yeah, try with that. I've seen them, Ryan. Yeah, you're right. There are a lot of people doing interesting videos. I would say some of them more interesting than others, but they all have affiliate links in that, and that's definitely a model. Cool.
exactly.
Let's go to the second one, which is the marketing agency, the famous marketing agency I get a lot of spams from. Yeah, some of them are legit, I believe. Some of them are not. I did work in agencies for marketing agencies for about, I would say, 7 8 years in my life. I have hands-on experience. I did work in London and Copenhagen and Amsterdam in legit agencies with like solid clients, and it can be a very very good model. I think it can definitely be done online with distributed teams all over the world. You don't really need an HQ
Yeah.
anymore. I mean, things are changing, and I think your clients as an agency will be made out of Gen Z and millennials now who do accept this kind of business model. So they don't have to go like in Mad Men, like we see in the movies, in that
Yeah.
fancy cool office.
Office spaces and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, so that I
Thousands,
think
hundreds of
I
people.
think it would,
That's
yeah,
right.
I think it could be, you could have a decent office in a global hub, but I don't think people actually like
Need
appreciate
that.
that so much or need it. Yeah, so the marketing agency model is, I think it's pretty straightforward, but it's kind of complex underneath. So a lot of people start by doing freelancing, and then because they get too much work, they start employing people, and that's how you form a marketing
It's a
agencies.
general
If you're like,
progression. Yeah.
yeah, general progression, exactly. And then once you have that, you can start scaling. But I think the biggest challenge is with the marketing agency. So it can be, a marketing agency can be, so usually it's like providing digital services. So that can be an SEO agency, it can be an analytics agency, a data analytics agency, it can be a creative agency where you create banners and assets for companies, for their website, for their social media, so on and so forth. How it works is you charge per hour or per project. So you can have like an hourly fee of 500 euros or 100 euros depending on your market, or you can create a website for your client for, let's say, like $5,000 or stuff like that. And they don't really care who does it, as long as you represent the agency. It can be you, or it can be you and two others, right?
Or it can be
And
AI.
or it can be AI. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's most likely
I
it will
think
be
now AI powered marketing agencies are,
are having
super
a
top
great
of
time.
mind.
Yeah,
And yeah,
exactly.
and especially when they can create multiple iterations of the same design. You can get in there, edit them, tweak them, and call them your own to a certain degree, and push them out to your client, right? And especially when it's I love using AI for marketing, media, and reaching out to clients, right? Because it's got so much good data in terms of how people respond, how things need to be written, whether it's a cold email or if it's, for example, copy in terms of like your social media posts or even on the actual carousel or whatever you're creating, right? So,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
think ultimately, um, just before we finish, right? It's super cheap to start, marketing agency, especially if you don't have too much overheads, which you won't when it's in terms of a digital and online remote sort of business, right? You basically just need to figure out where you're getting your clients in, how you're pricing it, and how you're getting it executed, and how much that cost is going to be like, right?
I think getting
Balancing.
clients is, yeah, getting clients is really an important one because the space is really competitive and also clients are demanding. So I think client management and account management is very important, and your clients will probably get snitched at one point. So you do want to have a really good client service. If it's you or a few other people, you do have to train them and tell, you really have to be very careful at how you treat your clients, because this is a client based business and it does matter a lot. There's a lot of competition. And you're right, Ryan. With AI now, I personally know people who have agencies and they do create templates based on AI. So they just reuse those templates. So it's much easier to scale down on marketing agents, I would say. But still, you've got a limited number of hours in your life, and if you want to be a business owner and work less, or at least have more freedom, which is the point of being a digital nomad, then you want to employ some people at one point. So yeah, that'll get expensive. Plus the tools, you'll probably need the professional versions, which is hundreds of dollars. So yes, keep all these things in mind.
Yeah,
Time and effort, I think we agree here. I think it does, even with AI tools, it does take time to create the work for the client, because you'll need manual intervention even though you use AI. You have to present that to the client. You'll have client meetings and client presentations. You'll get feedback, and then you have to redo some of the stuff as per client. You'll need to do contracts with the clients to stipulate exactly what work has to be done, and it is an hour based business, so you'll have timesheets where you have to prove to your client the amount of hours you've used, and they might have questions on that, so you do have to be prepared for all of that. So Ryan, I'm looking forward for you to tell me also from a legal perspective, if you have any experience with like marketing agencies and how they work with their clients in terms of the hourly work or the contract or the projects they sign for.
sure. Happy to throw some light on that. So the way I see it, most of my clients that have um, a marketing agency have gone into multiple levels of niche, right? For example, they're not only in digital marketing, right? They're not only in social media marketing or influencer marketing. They've gone further levels of those niches, right? They've gone into influencer marketing for FMCG skincare sort of products, right? Or they've
Yeah.
gone into, for example, clothing and wearables or electronics, and they're doing only SEO marketing, right? So they've gotten into a niche within a niche, right? That I felt has been one of the ways that they've been successful, right? To create that uniqueness and brand recall around them. And ultimately, some have even gone ahead to say that we're going to do only hospitality, right? So we're doing all Airbnbs, and it's a fun mention because next we're doing Airbnb vacation house, right? So people, they'll get the photographing done, they'll get somebody to upload these videos, create cool reels, so on and so forth, right? They'll get all of the input from the client, right? And then they use all of that information to create multiple pieces of content that really, really sells or goes viral, right? They, of
Interesting.
course, come with ideas.
Yeah, interesting. So basically, they're like a niche marketing agencies. They're focused on specific industry verticals. Yeah,
Yeah. And not only verticals, but even a certain way. Like they will not do copy for your website. They're not going to do banner ads if you wanted to, right? They're predominantly for either SEO or social
yeah.
media or a specific
It,
niche within a niche, right?
exactly. So it's very common that a lot of marketing agencies only do paid search or only SEO or just only creatives. Indeed,
Yeah.
yeah, or even strategy only. Yeah, why not?
Correct. Yeah, a lot of people do strategy. I've seen others that, for example, in the Web3 crypto space, they'll say, we're basically going to help you get from 0 to 1,000, 10,000 followers, and how we do it is up to us, right? And they'll have their distribution, right?
Yeah,
So they'll have their likes and followers that they can be able to basically drought through to your business, right? There are
correct, correct.
multiple ways in which they've niched, but ultimately the last bit I would want to add with regards to agencies is also how wide do you want to go, right? When I say, because this is going deep, when we talk about wide is, do you want to be doing multiple sorts of services, right? So, for example, let's say you're doing Airbnb, right? Will you be able to go actually have somebody go out there, photograph, go out there, take these videos. So you don't, it's a complete done for you solution for your client, right? They don't need to worry about how they're going to get somebody there, right? To shoot it and what the way it should be and do more things than just putting the content together, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Similarly, if you can also help, for example, get business owners to basically sign up for other services, right? And those services are complementary to your business, right? Then you can create a referral pool through that, right? Which is also what we spoke about earlier, right? Where you create an affiliate marketing tool for all of the referral
Or,
businesses,
or
softwares that they need to get, right?
yeah,
So
or just use your existing network to drag more clients or get recommendations. I think that it's still a word of mouth business, even though it's a
oh yes,
digital business.
absolutely.
Getting clients can be a word of mouth business for marketing agencies.
Correct.
Yeah. So that really slides us very, very nicely into scalability, and I'm really curious why we've put two here. I think we've got different opinions, but I think they're both very valuable. So go ahead, Ryan. What do you think it's less scalable?
Sure. But I think we skipped over the time to break even, but we can
Okay.
come back to that.
Yeah.
In terms of scalability, I think it's difficult to scale, especially if, for example, you're not going to get into other niches, right? Or you're not going to go into various other industry, right? So that way, I feel it's more difficult to scale something in that sense. What about you?
Yeah, I had something else in mind, which is very good
Okay.
because we're completing each other. So for me, scalability means how fast can you hire people and how fast can you deliver
Mhm.
projects and expand your network basically. And I think it's very easy to find freelancers. I mean, yeah, obviously you have to go through the interview process because you're going to be working with these people as partners or subcontractors. And but there are a lot of freelancers which are willing to do your web design or do your work for the creatives so you can deliver forward to your client. So like expanding that network is quite easy from reaching out to your network or going on Upwork, on Fiverr, or even on LinkedIn. If you post LinkedIn jobs, you'll definitely get a lot of applications, and it's quite easy to recruit on LinkedIn and cheap, I would say. So from that perspective, to scale the agency is quite easy in terms of human resources, because you have access now to a huge
Of course. Yeah,
worldwide pool
that's
of
that. Yeah.
people. And I think it's definitely scalable. When it comes to getting clients, that's a different discussion, but
Mhm.
as I was saying, is another story. To get clients is more difficult, but again, I mean, you could use companies that give you warm leads and things like that, so even that's doable. So I think it is a scalable business,
Yeah.
as long as you employ people. Like if you want to do it yourself and you're more like a freelancer and have your own marketing
That's
agency,
yeah.
that is difficult because you only have about 10 hours in a day. Otherwise, you're going to burn out.
Run out. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Time to break even.
So I would say this is relatively easy, especially when you're keeping it all the costs low, right? Because we've seen you can do this under $1,000 very, very comfortably. And to get that in terms of clientele's paying you, um, primarily you would have anywhere between 60/40 to 80/20 ratio of how much you're keeping of the revenue for yourself and how much you're apportioning for all of your costs, whether it's talent or it's tools and softwares, right?
Correct.
So all of your tech, you really look at this sort of range, and I feel time to break even is relatively quick, maybe between 3 to 6, maybe again on a higher side, 9 months. And this would be basically supposing you're getting good clients, and you can close maybe 5 or 6 good deals that go over for month on month on month, right?
Yeah, it also depends on your running costs and your lifestyle. I mean, again, like if you have a low cost of living, depending on where you live, and if you invoice clients from I don't know, Western Europe or the Western world, which they're used to higher prices and the markets are more
Yeah,
mature there, obviously you're gonna break even faster. But if you're working with or if you're just starting and if you're doing a lot of discounts for new clients, then it's gonna take you more to break even. But again, if you're just you like one man army, or if you just have like a partner, I think it's much easier to break even with a few contracts, as you're saying. So I think that will happen fast.
yeah,
Awesome. In terms of revenue, then I'll start with that. So again, I had something else in mind, Ryan, but it depends on the project you build. So if you're building websites, or if you're doing like technical service like SEO or data, or SEO audits and stuff like that, you can definitely charge more. Again, if you have like high-paying clients, like semi-famous brands, they can definitely pay a bit for their work. So you can definitely have a decent revenue from being a marketing agency straight off the bat, but that depends on your positioning, the network, and the types of contracts you get.
definitely. Yeah. No, the way I see it is marketing agencies are, especially for brands that want to sell their products, right? Maybe not so much for services, but brands that are selling their products, they'll usually have, 60, 90, 120 days credit terms, right, with their service providers for these sorts of things, right? So you're going to have to, at some point of time, be able to have enough money to not only keep your engine running, right, but
Yeah,
at the same time await their payments, which can be delayed at sometimes, right? So that's one thing. And the other aspect in terms of monthly revenue is, unless you have them on like a quarterly, annually
retainer.
plan, right,
Yes.
it's going to be super, super difficult because one, in this sort of business, it's difficult to show returns in like a month, 2 months, or anywhere under 120 days, right? You need to be consistent. You need to be always creative, and also making sure that the content is relatable, right? You need to figure out your space and your voice, right? Because not only are you communicating your brand and your yeah, marketing agency's ethos, but you're also communicating the clients, right? Ethos, and speaking to actual people who will actually make sales, right? So it's multiple variables, right? Which I feel ultimately will impact your monthly revenue, but only to the beginning, right? Over a period of time, when things go well, you can make insane amount of money, especially if you're doing relatively well in a specific niche, right?
Yeah, I think you touched on one really important aspect, which is the retainer. That's how they call it in the industry. So the retained client, which is kind of the the golden nugget for any agency, because that client will stay with you for a quarter or half a year or even a year, and it's a retained client, and they're paying a fixed amount every month for you to
Or
deliver the
and
services.
they're sometimes even paying ahead of time, for the whole
Yeah,
quarter or for the whole half year, for example, right up
yeah,
front. It's
yeah.
an advantage for them because maybe they can negotiate a better rate
With the
with you,
deal,
right? And
exactly.
at the same time, they know that they don't have to go elsewhere for, seven other different things that they need for their marketing agency, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you have a full service agency, like you do content, you do, videos, photos, multiple other things. You have a whole distribution network under you, right? And if you have anywhere between 4 to 5 people that are handling each vertical of the marketing agency, then I think you're good to go, at least to start off, right, with having multiple verticals under you. It's
That
kind of
would be
like what
good.
we did at YWLC, right? We have multiple virtual legal counsels. We have somebody for prop tech. We have somebody for e-commerce, D2C, quick commerce. We have somebody for SaaS, BaaS, and so on and so forth,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
We created various verticals and put one person underneath each and slowly build out a clientele, slowly build out a team, and basically scale in different verticals as opposed to scaling with like just number of lawyers or just number of jurisdictions that we can operate out of.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Exactly. So talking about rentals, I think we have
Yeah,
to go into Airbnb right now. So
yeah.
I'll let you start. You've got plenty of experience with Airbnb, and I think we both agree that the entry cost is quite high, especially in the Western world. So how do you see that, Ryan?
So there's two ways of doing Airbnb, and it would be so much better if we could have my business partner, law firm partner, Tashar, on board because he used to be the legal counsel for Airbnb, and it's basically how once he came on board, the reason we started our property tech vertical, right? So to zero in on why the cost is so high, right? Because you have actually three main costs, right? One which will be either to purchase the asset, the property, right? Or you need to rent it, right? Either of these two things are going to have a high capital intensive, right? Whether you're buying it or you're renting it on a monthly basis, right? The second aspect to it is you'll have to have some amount of cost put towards uplifting the property, right? Like making it livable, especially if it's not already ready to go plug and play sort of situation,
Yeah,
right? And you need to make it catering towards your clientele. So let's say it's for remote workers, digital nomads doing vacations, staycations, things of that nature, or it's people like, let's say, a family of four coming to live, for X number of months in a year, right? You can have it done in that way, but it needs to be uplifted, right? And you got to
yeah,
put some money behind that, right? The third is in terms of marketing, right? Because once you've gotten everything done, right, you're gonna also have to market all of this in a proper manner, right? That's why I spoke about like we have clients that are either vacation rental management companies, property management companies. They do everything from the moment you say, I have a property and I want to list with you, right? They'll do the photographing, they'll do the staging of the property, get it listed on their platform and several other platforms that will gain traffic for you. They'll show all of your data in terms of how much revenue you're doing, right? But there's a a relatively substantial percentage that you will have to forego towards them of how much your rentals are, right?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you've got definitely got more experience than I do, so I have to agree on that. It does make sense to me. One thing I know from my network is that some of my acquaintances they did buy the property with loans from the banks, obviously, and they starting remortgaging after a period of time. I can tell you the turnover is pretty good, depending on the city as well. It depends on a lot of factors. Maybe we can talk about that later on in a different show, like location, city, season, so on and so forth. So it's kind of a complex business, but also a fun one, I would say. Um, in terms of time and effort, I think you already touched on that, but let's talk a bit about it. So I think, in my opinion, as soon as you have your setup ready, like you've got your legal team or your maintenance team that also includes a legal team, and they take care of your property or properties, then I think this requires low time and effort. It's basically just being in touch with your a letting agency or like maintenance agency, and you'll just have to say yes or no, or just send them some money for repairs from time to time. So that's why I think the time and effort for me is low here, but I see you have a different grade, so I want to hear it.
Yeah. So I think the time and effort is high because, as you mentioned, even though you have, let's say, a property manager or a caretaker at the facility, right? Or let's say you have somebody who's doing all of your contracts, getting your licenses, permits, setting up an entity to own this property, and all those sorts of things, right? These are time that you would have to dedicate towards making sure that they have done everything in a proper manner, getting updates from them. So even though you're delegating, it's never going to be as simple as a very low amount of time, right?
Yeah, you
You
can't really
will need
compare with an affiliate with the affiliate marketing. I mean, this
absolutely,
is a more
yeah,
complex business.
correct, right? And it's a physical with you being able to be remote, right?
And dealing, yeah, and also dealing with people, or at least your agency dealing with people, with contracts, with cancellations. I mean, this is a people business.
Yeah, there are multiple things can go wrong in this, right? Because people are staying in a property that either you own or even if you rent, right, are responsible for, right?
Yeah,
So if something goes wrong, then it can either lead into legal problems, financial ramifications for you. Maybe there are certain fines, damages that need to be paid. So there's a lot of time that needs to be taken care of. Of course, it can be reduced with having good support system, good partners, good people that you work with that you can lean on for different sorts of tasks, right, to be done remotely. And I think it's essential to have a really good, well-knit team that knows what they're doing, have done it multiple times, and at the same time can bring in advice and feedback from different experiences that they've had. In terms of
absolutely.
time to break even, I see that we're both pretty much in line in that, right? But do you think this is going to be able to accelerate if you have multiple properties, maybe in multiple locations, or maybe multiple properties in the same location, right? Do you think
Yeah,
that's going to affect
it's hard to tell, Ryan, because I think different locations have different returns.
it? Yeah,
It also depends on the management cost, I would say, and also seasonality and the market cycle for that specific. So I think I've put a four there because if you have properties in prime locations, then your revenue will be high as well. So I know people having properties in Barcelona, in Copenhagen, in Amsterdam, and you can charge quite high prices for those properties, and then your time to break even will be much faster. Also, it also depends on the size of the mortgage. If you opted for a loan, if your mortgage is low, then you're going to break even faster. But if you just recently purchased the flat, then you'll have to, and your loan is high, which it is now in a lot of global cities like Amsterdam or London or whatever, then it will take you more time. What I can tell you from my personal experience talking to people is that in some countries you can divide houses into multiple flats. And that definitely accelerates the time to break even because you're going to have basically 3, 4 bedrooms rented by different people. So different units basically paying for that mortgage and it gets paid faster.
yeah, those are really helpful things that I think will accelerate the time to break even. From my side, it's a long time definitely, and that's only if A, you've purchased the property, whether it's through loan or all up, because there's a significant amount of investment that goes into purchasing a
Yeah,
property, right?
yeah.
So that's one way. So, for example, if you hadn't purchased the property, you've just leased it and you're able to sublease it on Airbnb through the contract that you have with your landlord, then all you need to do is make sure that as much rent that's going out, plus whatever maintenance costs, plus whatever costs you want to annualize of uplifting the property, right? Is basically returned on a month-to-month basis, right? You're looking at anywhere between 40 to 45, maybe on a higher side, even 50% occupancy, right? In
Hmm.
good seasons, right? And that's something that you want to kind of capitalize on to be able to break even sooner, right? And the
Yeah.
other way I think to break even or accelerate that process is by having multiple properties, because the moment you have multiple properties but you have the same number of vendors or spokes for each department, you're basically putting more properties to work whilst having the cost of talent or cost of resources be maintaining to be the same, right? So that's something that I feel can help accelerate the time to break even. So that's one of the things that I've noticed with my partner Thashar. He's got his own Airbnb business. He started with one, slowly expanded to two, three. Some are in collaboration, some he's invested in, some he's done, various sorts of deals, and he's very familiar with when it comes to negotiating certain sort of terms, especially when you don't have to own the property, right?
Yeah,
That way,
interesting.
he's scaled it up to about 12 properties in India alone, right? And he's soon going to launch properties outside of India as well, maybe in Dubai, maybe in Portugal, maybe other parts of Europe as well. So those are things we can help at YVLC. And when it comes to scalability, I want you to give me your 2 cents on that.
Yeah, so I think this is a more difficult one, because I think, at least in my opinion, I think it's easier to purchase properties with a loan than yeah, doing partnerships. I think it's more straightforward with partnerships. There is a risk there. Otherwise, with loans, if you have the down payment, you get the loan from the bank. It's a serious institution. You know the amount you have to pay every month on the mortgage, and that's it. So I think it does take time to scale, if you're working with the banks and investors. Otherwise, if you're partnering up, and also it depends on the market and the market price, that can be the scalability can be done faster. However, if you're willing to work with banks, it will take more time to remortgage and buy more properties and extend. So that's why I said, for scalability. I had the loan option in mind, but as you're saying, it can be done through partnership or subleases, which probably is going to scale faster. It's all about the strategy, and also it's all about, I think, the type of unit you wanna buy or sublease. You do have to do the math and see also what's easier to get rented. Is it like a studio for digital nomads, or is it like a holiday rentals for families on the seaside? So you do have to work on that strategy, and depending on that, it can scale faster or not. Obviously, if you buy big properties in expensive countries, it's going to be harder to scale.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
think that's where the Airbnb model really gets accelerated. If you do basically what Airbnb is doing, right? They don't own any properties, but they're the biggest hotel, for example, in the world, right?
yeah,
So what they've gotten and done is basically allow people to list. So you can even do that for yourself, which is what my partner is doing, right? List multiple other properties through your network of travelers and people that want to book these places, right? The
exactly.
other thing, the other thing that you can do to scale and is the reason why I've brought this at a two or rated this as a two, is because as I mentioned, when you're doing partnerships and deals of this nature, ultimately, so long as you're the co-host or you're somebody that has some sort of control over how the money is coming in and how much revenue is being given back to the other side or the other partner, right? Whether they're the landlord or they're the property management company, whatever the case may be, right? So long as you have that decided and set in stone, then you're in a much safer, protected position, right? Because you're handling the money back, right? And you have that protection, so to speak. But ultimately, if you wanted to scale, and I feel that is the natural progression when it comes to Airbnbs or vacation rentals, unless, of course, you're looking for the long term appreciation of the property, right? And that's a much bigger win and a much more far distant future win for most clients, right? The
Yeah,
way we've seen it done with multiple clients that have come to us for our vacation rental offering is basically they've either already gone out and bought the property and now they want to list it and get all the legal done as well as all of the non-legal stuff that I mentioned, right? That we work
great.
with. The next is when they have already listed, they're not so successful, and now they want to see how they can scale up, right? Or they haven't brought a brand together, right? And they want to be associated to bring up a brand together. So I think those are
Awesome.
things that can help scale.
Yeah. And we're running out of time right now, unfortunately, but we can definitely talk about monthly revenue. Maybe we can do a separate show about Airbnb rentals, managed
That'll
from
be fun.
distance. Yeah. So I put a four here because I think you can optimize the revenue all the time. Either you can lower your cost with a maintenance agency, or you can just rent the room separately, or you can just have extensions down to your house, and then you can put another unit in there. So there are multiple ways to increase your revenue. Again, it depends on the type of loan or deal you have in place, but generally, I think you can scale the business pretty well if you pick the right units.
No, of course. It really does depend on the type of deal and the type of property and the location. But ultimately, I've kept this at a lower monthly revenue because you need to factor around, how often you're going to get the bookings and also
Plus
the
other costs, which can be
exactly.
high. Yeah,
Plus
yeah,
the costs, which are whether it's a loan, whether it's a rental, whether whatever the situation is, right? You're gonna have a fixed, to a certain degree, very high fixed monthly payments, right? To
yeah.
and of course there'll be few variables here and there, maintenance and so on and so forth. But on a higher side, I would say that the monthly income can only accelerate or be increased if you have multiple properties and they're all sort of working together under a brand or under your company.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, that makes sense. So again, like I would say as general advice, just do the math first and talk to people who've done this before to see what kind of cost you have and how much you can charge for the unit you have in mind. And obviously factor in the mortgage. Yeah. Awesome,
Definitely.
Ryan. Thanks. It
Yeah,
was really fun. I think we touched on a lot of good points.
sure.
And I think we're gonna do a third show with some other interesting businesses. I think the conclusion is that as a digital nomad or remote worker, you do have a lot of options to start an online business or even a physical business, and then you can start traveling or enjoying life more as soon as your business is set up, and then you can work from distance from anywhere.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, now that we're doing all these comparisons in the first season, we can do season two with, people that have and really enjoyed certain businesses and want to hear more. So please feel free to, drop in the comments which one you want to have us make another full long form video. We can probably get an expert from each of these fields to talk a little bit more in depth about them.
Absolutely. We're going to leave some links from our channels. Please follow us and like the video if you enjoyed it. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
Absolutely. Thanks. This was fun again. Take care.
Bye. Bye bye.
Bye.